Sydney-based classical musicians have packed up their instruments for a regional tour. The Camerata of St John's have likened it to the movie Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. They've already performed in Emerald, Rockhampton, Longreach and Winton, and will also take to the stage in Roma and Charleville.
It is very tempting, and there's a lot of pressure to move overseas from Australia. There are not vast numbers of opportunities for classical performers in Australia, and there's not huge amounts of money put into it like there is in Europe and previously in America.
Mozart, then Hindemith, which is here, Granger.
But I must say, one of the best decisions I ever made in my life was to return to Australia, because it's such a wonderful country to live in, and the music making here is fresh and dynamic because it isn't laden with tradition so much, and there's an opportunity here to make something of it and to contribute and to develop yourself in different ways, and that's a big part of what the Camerata of St John's is about. We're not flying on this tour. It's a full-on road trip. It's got Priscilla, Queen of the Desert overtones to it, I think, especially with the crowd I've got involved. And we have our bus, and we've driven it all the way from Brisbane up to Rockhampton. We're driving out to Winton, Charleville, Roma, and back again to Brisbane. So it's a pretty serious road trip. And that also brings with it some fun times, though. People playing all kinds of silly games on the bus. Well, there's a lot of 500 playing going on at the moment.
What did I bid? 9-9.
We perform and we give workshops, and then we have the bus time, which is the downtime, and people play cards, and it's a good group to be in, to be on the road with.
It'll be really good to go out there and bring music that doesn't get out there, especially coming from a rural area myself where I learnt from a strings teacher, which was fabulous, but my first bass teacher wasn't until I went to university.
And we're also really thrilled to be connecting with students in the area, and not only doing our evening concerts, but making a real connection with the communities out here. I am the leader, but I'm a first among equals, because this is an ensemble that rather uniquely operates on democratic principles. So when we're at our best, I definitely rely on the input of my wonderful colleagues standing right behind me. I grew up in the Burdekin, in the town of Ayr. My parents had moved there after they married and brought up their family there, and it was a wonderful upbringing to grow up in a regional part of Queensland. I did all of my schooling in Ayr and moved to Brisbane to undertake undergraduate studies in music. I later lived in America to undertake a Master of Music and later a Doctor of Musical Arts at the University of Maryland. And returned to Australia. I was kicking around looking for things to do at that point to some degree, but I always had the dream of playing in a chamber orchestra. We're very fortunate enough to have teamed up with the Tim Fairfax Foundation, who have the ethos that wouldn't it be wonderful to provide to regional Queenslanders same sorts of opportunities, even going to concerts that are available rather readily to urban dwellers. Now let's just see what effect that's having. Here we go. So play normally now, and it's speed.
And if we are having trouble, we can go to them just there and ask them, and they can just play it for us, and we can run through it with them and obviously get better. Yeah, it's been really good. They're really talented, and they're just really helpful.
When I was a student in Ayr, very occasionally some professional musicians came through, and I can remember vividly those experiences. I remember exactly what those people played. Funnily enough, it means a lot connecting with professional artists when you grow up in a regional centre, I think. And also it's validating, because often they can say, it's okay, you're doing every bit as well. Is it fun to play strings? Yes. Cool and all that. Welcome to the stage, the Camerata of St John. Thank you. Somehow music just has this ability to reach out and grab you right at the heart, and so that somehow is validating for me as to why we should keep giving concerts and keep getting out there and connecting with audiences.